What time is it? It's live stream time. It's late as I don't know what. It's like, what time is it? It gotta be like 9 something. About to be 10 o'clock here in Northern California. It is late. My bad about not being able to let y'all see me. I'm in a place where I don't think I want anybody to know. I'm in one of those places that I need to keep a secret. So I was like, well, since I'm waiting around, I think I'm going to do a live stream, and it's going to be about how women can keep men coming back. It should be interesting. How, as a woman, can you keep a man coming back? Now, we're going to talk about my personal stories, my personal experiences, because that's all I know. I don't know nobody else's business. I know Soncerae's business. I can give you advice based on my own personal information. Hey, what's up, Mark? What up, Mark? Thumbs up the live stream. Make sure you thumbs up the live stream when you come in here. You got one job. One job. Thumbs up the live stream. So listen, for those of you that may be confused, Mark is a real person. Okay? There's this weird rumor going around that Mark is not a real person and that Mark is like a fake profile that I created. No, Mark is a real person, and he introduced himself in one of my videos. So what I'm going to do once, this live stream is up, I'm going to put the link to the video that Mark actually introduced himself, and you can hear him speak, all right? Because I'm tired of the rumor that Mark is not real. Mark is very real. Mark has been very real in my life for a very, very long time. Okay, so I'm a single woman. I have been single. June, I was in a relationship for about I think it was June, July, and then August. And I was in a relationship and about to marry a guy that I had been dating since middle school on and off. And before I started dating him in June, the last guy that I dated was my son's father. I dated him November 2017. Okay? Now, usually hey, Miss Presley, usually when I stop dating the guy, I don't turn back around. I don't do back and forth. That's not how I operate. Once I'm done with you, I'm done with you. But I know it's a lot of women out there that want their ex back. They want to be able to get guys that may have quote unquote ghosted them. They want just to be able to keep their man, and a lot of women are really concerned about this. Personally, I don't think you should be concerned about this, because if a dude feel comfortable enough to just walk away from you, he ain't somebody you need to be kicking it with. But anyway, if you want to get him to stick to you, I can tell you how to do that. Now, before I dated my son's father, I was single for about, I don't know, 6 to 8 years. And I did that on purpose. And throughout that whole time, of course, men tried to holler. Like, men try to holler now. Of course, men try to holler. Men always going to try to holler. You know what I mean? Men, especially the indecisive ones. You know what I mean? Like, they always going to try to holler. Because 9 times out of 10, they indecisive. They can't keep a relationship anyway. Then you got some guys out there who are looking for something specific. And they might circle back and try to come back to you as a placeholder. And that's why the name of this live stream is flat out how to keep a man coming back. And then the question is that something that you really want? I was on Facebook. Y'all know I love Facebook. I just started a Facebook group, another one, for my OnlyFans. My OnlyFans has some exclusive pictures on it, like my sexy photos, my nudes or whatever. But my Facebook group is like a teaser group, and you can only get into that teaser group by invite. It's not like you could just go find this group and then join it. You have to be invited to the group by another gentleman. All right, so I just created that group today, and I'm like 50% off today for Black Friday. So it'll be 50% off on my OnlyFans from today till December 4th, and that's for only 40 slots. And I think right now I have maybe 20 left. I'm not sure. I gotta go look, but so many dudes signed up today. It was just like, damn. Like, my damn. But yeah, so that's for the gentlemen. I only want gentlemen only. Don't nobody want no dusties over there, or guys that got issues with women, all that bullshit. Don't nobody got time for that. Okay, nobody got time for that. So anyway, um, the one thing about me that I've always been able to do is get men to come back. Now, I was on Facebook. This is the point I was trying to make. I was on Facebook and I saw that this girl had posted. No, it wasn't even a girl. It was a guy. This guy had posted. And he said something along the lines of, if he keeps going back to her, that means she's the one. So you could stop chasing him. Right? You basically need to stop chasing him because the girl he keep going back to is the one. Right? And I was like, this is the bullshit that these beta males keep trying to feed a whole bunch of women, because they bank on feeding us these false premises so we can be stuck on them. Okay? It's a mindfuck. And let me explain. Just because a dude keep coming back to you does not mean that you the one. Okay? It means that you the dumb bimbo who keeps taking him back, putting up with his bullshit. When you become a revolving door for a man, he can always rely on the fact that no matter how much he fucks up, you will always be there for him with open arms. The only way that women are going to stop being some dude's rehabilitation center before we get the love and respect we want, the only way that's going to stop is if women stop being stupid. Because it's like women will want to stay with these guys that have cheated on them, that have lied to them, been toxic, abusive, all types of stuff, just so later on they can say, oh, I stuck with him through thick and thin. Who wants to keep doing the down ass chick shit? Don't nobody want to keep having to do that. Don't know what, like, by the time this man want to marry you, you so damaged and screwed up, you don't know left from right. You just out here all the way confused. But women believe what this guy said. They believe that if a guy keeps coming back to them, that means that she's the one. Now, I can tell you how to get these guys to come back. It's simple. When they ghost you or they cheat on you or they keep going, moving on to somebody else, whatever it is that they doing, and it's a guy that you're interested in and you want him to keep coming back to you, right? All you have to do is not trip. Don't spaz. Don't get mad. Don't cry. Nothing. Every time he do something, just be like, all right, I understand. Be calm. Let him go. Don't call him. Nothing. He come back on his own. Now, a lot of times you might meet a guy, after you do that the first, second time, he might stop what he doing that's screwed up and just be a good dude for you after that. But that's an exception to a rule. Most guys will keep screwing up. But the one way that you get these guys to keep coming back to you ain't because you got that wet. Ain't because your head game good. You know, that ain't it. It's a lot of women out here that got that wet. It's a lot of women out here that, you know, got a nice Miss Muffin. You know what I'm saying? They know how to give head and everything. It's plenty of women out there like that. What women don't do that a lot of men are looking for is a woman that's going to not trip every time he do something wrong. That's what men want. They want to be able to do whatever it is that they want to do Meanwhile, you just sit there and be like, okay. And if they want to leave you alone, they can leave you alone. When they want to come back, you let them come back. That's what these betas are expecting from you. An alpha male, because I just did a video, a live stream about alpha males versus betas, and it's a lot of betas out here. I mean, it's so hard to avoid a beta because there's so many of them. It's so many of them. Alphas are different. If you want to keep an alpha, you usually have to have your game. You usually got to be on a higher level from the beginning. Like from the beginning of the situation, you got to be on a level that's like high. Because alpha males expect a lot. They put a lot of energy into who they are as a person. So they expect the woman that they with to put a lot of energy into who she is. Like she has to work out, eat right, look right. Like you can't not take care of yourself, eat whatever you want to eat, and then think you about to get this buff dude, you know what I mean, who pumps iron all the time and takes good care of himself and he financially stable. Meanwhile, your credit is screwed up. You spend money impulsively. You don't take care of your body. You know, things like that. Like, usually a lot of alpha males, they be attractive, right? They can dress real nice. They got a nice pair of shoes on, got a nice jeans on, a nice little outfit, whatever they wearing. They look nice, haircut, you know, face cut. But then you walk up to them and you don't have your toes done, your nails done, your hair done, your makeup done right. But you expecting him to want to be with you. Alpha males usually, when they find the right woman for them, they usually stick to them. They don't really like go back and forth and cheat and lie and all that stuff. That's beta male stuff. That's beta male stuff. But the problem is a lot of beta males are walking around here pretending to be alpha. So a lot of women don't even recognize the difference until later. It's like they'll meet, like guys, and I say this to guys all the time. Every guy that's talking to me right now, every guy that's trying to holler at me, 9 times out of 10, they all saying the same thing to me. Good dudes and bad dudes speak the same language when you first meet them. Alpha males and beta males speak the same language when you first meet them. You don't know which is which. You only know which is which once you start seeing their behavior with time. Because a beta male can only pretend to be an alpha for a limited amount of time because it's not who he truly is. So at some point, he's going to slip up. And at some point, you're going to catch it. And some women, real sharp, they catch it early. Some women. But it's easy to get confused. Because these dudes, man, they come to you, they seem like they good money. They do everything they supposed to do. Take you out on your little dates. They might even wait your little 90-day period. Buy you shit. Be on time. Call when he's supposed to. Text you. It's women out here that's stuck on a dude because he texts her good morning every morning. Do you know how many niggas have done that to me? Do you know? Like, that is nothing. That pales in comparison to what I can truly get out of a man. And this is what I start thinking about when I start talking about marriage to women too. Marriage, women don't like the way that I talk about marriage. Women hate the way that I talk about marriage because I've come to the realization to understand that number one, marriage is an insurance policy. It's not beneficial to either parties, honestly, but it's definitely not beneficial for men. And the reason why is because it's an insurance policy for women. In the event that the relationship or the marriage is over, in the event that a divorce happens, a woman can get a piece of the finances from the man she's married to. If you ask a woman what's the benefit of being married, it will always be something that has to do with finances. Not God, not the relationship, not love, not... Just go around and just start asking women. And I don't mean women that already been married. Just women that want to be married. The thought process, what they think marriage is in their mind, has more to do with the finances from a man and what they get. When I had the live stream the other day where I was talking about who benefits, wives or mistresses. And the guy was like, one of the guys came in and, oh, women, oh, mistresses. I mean, not mistresses, wives. The reason why wives win is because once the relationship is over or the marriage is over, wives benefit financially, even though she's no longer dealing with him. But then that leaves you to try to figure out what happens to the wives that stay. If they've been cheated on one time, why are they staying around him? They don't benefit. They feel like the wives are getting more. But how? Let me tell you something about a chick that's single, a chick that's a side chick, chick that's a mistress. 9 times out of 10, these women already getting bread. I don't have to marry a man to get bread out of him. I don't have to marry a man to get him to buy me something. I don't have to marry him for him to give me $2 grand or $5 grand. It's easy to get money out of men, especially married ones. And the reason why it's easy to get money out of married men is because usually they want 2 things from you. If you are a mistress or a side chick, 9 times out of 10, you gonna get some type of hush money, hush vacation, hush handbag and shoes, hush something. Or you're gonna meet married men that you'll never be able to sleep with or do anything with, but they still want to take care of you financially. It's married men out there like that. But as a single woman, let's say you're not feeling being a side chick, you're not feeling being a mistress. There's plenty of women like that. You know, I don't condone women being mistresses and side chicks. Women out there who are single, they still out here getting bread out of these guys. You don't need to be married to get money out of a man, especially if you already have money of your own. Getting married to a man and making that the be-all is a beta female trait. Alpha females don't think that way. Alpha females will get whatever they want out of a man, regardless to whether they're married to them or not. The end game for alpha females isn't marriage. That's a beta female trait. Doesn't mean that beta females are bad. All of them. I personally think that being a beta male is worse than being a beta female. Because I think being a beta female is kind of like more acceptable. Because it's a lot of women who are beta. It's a lot of women who feel like marriage is the be all. They're going to do whatever they can to get it. And it's a selfish way of thinking. It definitely is. Because at the end of the day, it's only about financial stability. Alpha females don't need men for financial stability because alpha females go out there and get their own bread. They don't need a man for that. So the last thing they're going to be thinking about is, the only thing I need from a man is for him to be a provider. Now, there's different ways to provide for a woman. That's why when alpha females get married, they require not just for their husbands to be like financially there for them or bringing in part of the income for the household. They're still allowing their husbands and stuff to lead, of course, right? But there's so many other things that men can bring to a marriage other than finances. I mean, just being good as far as leadership goes. Like a man could be, oh my God, like the advice some men can give women to make women better, to enhance a woman's life. It's so much more men can bring to the table other than just finances. Now, I'm not saying as a woman you shouldn't require for a man to be there for you financially. I'm not saying that. I'm never going to say that. I think that it's amazing when alpha males invest their money into their women. And I always feel like alpha males should make more money than the woman that they with. And I think alpha females should expect more money from their husbands. I do feel like that. But it definitely is a beta female trait for a woman to only want to be married to a man so that he could take care of her financially. And you will be surprised how many women you go to and ask them why they want to be married. And they'll say, oh, because he can take care of me financially. All right. Let's see. Oh, you've been in here talking, Miss Presley. Hey, Ashley, what's up? There are two types of alpha males: economical attractive males and sexual attractive males. I don't think it's two types of alpha males. I mean, that could be your opinion. I'm not saying your opinion is wrong. I'm just saying what I think. From my experience, I don't think it's two types of alpha males. I think all alpha males are attractive. They're attractive sexually. They're attractive all across the board. Plenty of women want them. Plenty of women are interested. But alpha males have self-control. They like sex, but they're not going to let sex run them. You can always tell the difference between an alpha male and a beta male when you start looking at their sexual activity. Beta males are extremely promiscuous. They'll fuck anything. An alpha male is going to be a little bit more reserved about who he sleeps with because he has so much to lose. He has so much to offer a woman that he's not going to want to waste it on just any random woman that he meets. It's like plenty of women. Like, alpha males get so many women, they can be selective like that. They have so many options. They don't have to sleep with everything. Beta males sleep with everything. So when you said it's two types of alpha males, I'm like, what? Economical attractive males and sexual attractive males? No, an alpha male is economically attractive and sexually attractive. He's both. Beta males usually are just sexually attractive. Like, they might have a big dick or they might be able to fuck. You know what I'm saying? Something like that. But usually they broke. You know, like, you ever heard, I know as a woman, you got a whole bunch of girlfriends and you'll hear how some of your girlfriends would be like with a dude and clearly he ain't got no money. Clearly he a dog. He might have 5, 6 baby mamas. He could be a street dude. He could be dealing dope. He could be doing whatever. He just a low value dude, but she still sleep with him because she's stuck on the penis. Like, she's stuck on how he is sexually. Women have got to stop thinking because you have a sexual connection with a man that's it. That must mean that he's valuable in some type of way. No, he's just sexually attractive. That's just as stupid as these beta females walking around talking about they got that wet wet. Like, that wet wet gonna keep a man. No. It's plenty of wet wet. It's a lot of wet wet out here. You know what I'm saying? Like, wet wet. Listen, wet wet. If you got a credit card, you can go out there and get some wet wet. You know what I'm saying? It's plenty of hookers on the side of the street for some wet wet, right? So come on, man. All marriages are bad. I don't think all marriages. Damn, black people. I agree with you 100%. All marriages are bad. Single parenting and co-parenting is the best route. Less people to answer to for both sides of the family. I'm not going to say all marriages are bad. I'm just going to say this, how I feel about marriage. I think people get married for the wrong reasons. And I think if it genuinely was about you two loving each other, you wouldn't need to go down to the courthouse and get a license. Once you get a license, your marriage becomes a business. It becomes a partnership. That's just my perspective of it. Now, there's plenty of people who got married and they've been married for 40 years, 20 years, you know, because back long time ago, I'm not going to say ages ago, but I'm going to say maybe about 20 years ago, 30 years ago, if you got married 20 or 30 years ago, 9 times out of 10, you're probably still going to stay married because you didn't have all of these distractions that we got now out here being single. You got the internet, you got Facebook, you got Twitter, you got Instagram, you got YouTube, you got all of these different distractions, and you are very accessible to other people. When you get used to being married to someone where you don't have all of these distractions, 9 times out of 10, you just grow into that and you get used to being that. But when you're single and you've been single, and you got all of these distractions, dating sites, and all of these, you know, you can still talk to your exes and you see your exes. You can, like, you know, creep up on their timeline and stuff like that without anybody knowing. That's easy to get distracted. It's easy for you to get distracted from your own situation. Like, you can look at somebody else's relationship and then compare it to your own. People do it all the time. You're looking at other people's highlight reels and you're comparing it to your relationship. You know, everybody wants to one-up everybody right now. Everybody wants everybody to validate their relationship. So it's different. Back, you know, 20, maybe 30 years ago, it wasn't that deep. There was no, oh, I got to make sure I put my relationship on Instagram, or I got to make sure my relationship status stay married on my Facebook page. It wasn't like that. So it's different. You feel me? Um, yeah, so successful single nerds with no game are economical alphas. But in the sexual world, they sexual beta males. Broke men, street dudes with game and multiple girlfriends are sexual alpha males. No. Boo boo. What are you, like 12? Girl, that sounds crazy as hell. Ashley. Broke men, street dudes with game and with multiple girlfriends, they are not alpha males. Those are beta. Those are beta. Those are beta parading around pretending to be alpha. They feel like the more women that they accumulate, that is a representation of what masculinity is. That's a version of toxic masculinity. They believe that that's what masculinity is, but it's not. Alpha males don't interact with a whole bunch of females like that for the reasons that I spoke of earlier. They just have too much to lose. They're not going to just spread themselves, within a 50-mile radius of the city that they live in, spread their semen all over the place, spreading into the four winds. That's some beta male shit. You know what I mean? Now, as far as successful nerds, what I notice about nerds, and I can say this because I am one. So, being a nerd in school, like when we were in high school and elementary school and middle school, all of the nerds that I went to school with, I'm still friends with because, all of the nerds kind of stick together, right? As you can see, it's very difficult for people to see me as a nerd. You know why? Because I don't come off as that 9 times out of 10. But people that know me in my personal life, who are around me all of the time, all they see is nerd. All they see is IT geek. That's all they see, because they're not a nerd and they're spending more time with me. You guys don't see me. You just see what I show you. You see the version of me that I put out there. You see the sexy model with the OnlyFans page and just automatically assume, oh, she must be a dingbat, because for some reason they feel like nerds aren't beautiful, nerds aren't sexy, nerds aren't blah, blah, blah. No, that's far from the truth. So let me tell you about the nerds in my life, right? All of the nerds that I grew with, all of them are successful, all of them are wealthy, all of them are married or divorced and in a committed relationship. One of the nerds I know, his real last name is Poindexter. I'm not making this shit up. That's really his last name. Before he even got married, he was a single father. He had a son. The woman that he's married to now, they don't even have kids together. And they've been married for about 3 years now, 3 or 4 years now. But he had a son. So the other day when I was talking about alpha males and how some alpha males are single fathers, he's a prime example of that. And he and I went to elementary school together, middle school together, and high school together. And he's a nerd, but at the same time, he's sexy as hell because he was modeling. He ended up modeling after we got out of college. But by looking at him, you would have never thought he was a nerd. The only way you would know he's a nerd is you talk to him or you known him for as long as I have. Nerds don't look or act how you think they do. This man, if you look at this man, you would think he would get so much ass because he's built and an ounce of fat on his body. He work out. If you go look at his timeline on his Instagram page, it's all muscle. All him with his shirt off. He loved motorcycles. He covered in tattoos. You never would have thought he was a nerd or is a nerd still. Because people think nerds look one way, alpha males look one way, blah, blah, blah. No. There are alpha males out there that are nerds, that are sexual looking, that are sexually attractive, economically attractive. They're educated. And there's nothing about them that rings beta at all. They're not disrespecting women. They're not juggling these women that are attracted to them. They're just looking at all of these women attracted to them, but they're still being selective about who they choose to procreate with, marry, have sex with, or even sit down and have a conversation with. You know? So, no, I think that is I think a lot of women feel like this Ashley person feel. Street dudes, broke men with game and multiple girlfriends are sexual alpha males. Nah, because alpha males don't play games. Beta males do. Alpha males are too, like, playing a game is intellectually boring to an alpha male or female. It's women out there that, you know how you get, like, relationship advice from some females? Like, you're a female, right? Any female that's listening. You know how there's, like, female, like, relationship gurus? And they try to give you all these tricks on how to get a man to do this, and that for you. That's technically a beta female telling you how to manipulate a man, teaching you how to play a game with a man. But a typical alpha female is not going to be interested in playing no game with no dude. If she gotta literally trick him, like mentally mind fuck him into doing something, she ain't gonna want to deal with him. Because don't know alpha, female or male, none of them want someone who is not intellectually on their level. It's hard. I just dated somebody who wasn't intellectually on my level, and it was hard, to say the least, because here I was, a college educated woman. I have a bachelor's degree. I run businesses. I dated some guy who didn't even have a fucking high school diploma, didn't even bother getting a GED. But here I was trying to interact with him intellectually, and it was so hard. It was like, I used to just be like, okay, like having to explain everything to him the way that I had to. It was weird. Like, even when I do a YouTube video, right, it's very hard for me to speak in a manner where it's like general for everybody, so everybody can understand. And sometimes when I'm talking, it could be hard for you to understand me because I'm trying to dumb myself down to explain something, because I don't want to sound too, I don't know, like sound too, sorry, y'all. I don't want to sound too, like, I don't know, like too, all right, put it like this. When I first started doing YouTube videos, right, and I started doing like commentary on like advice and all the stuff that I'm doing now, people used to be like, I don't understand what you're saying. I don't understand the vocabulary that you're using. What does this word mean? What does that word mean? And that was what was happening to me for like 3 years. I was like, okay, I have to figure out a way to talk to everybody without sounding like a nerd. Not really sounding too educated, but just sounding like a nerd. So I was like, okay, I'm going to dumb this down a little bit. You know, so I'm just going to dumb this down a little bit. 96% of North Americans with master's and doctorate degrees work for somebody else. Yeah, because that's what a degree is for. A degree is basically teaching you how to have a high-paying job. That's all a degree is. A degree is not, listen, you could not go to college at all and go start a business, right? Or you could go to college and maybe take a 2-year course in business management and then start you a business. Or you can go to college and get you a bachelor's degree or master's degree in like law or maybe business or something like that. Because if you get your MBA, you can become an executive or a CEO of a company, somebody else's company. Okay, because that's really all it takes. That's all a degree is. All a degree is teaching you how to work for a company. That's it. It isn't teaching you how to be a millionaire. That's a whole nother course. Regular everyday college, they are not out here teaching you how to be a business owner. They weren't. at least when I was in college, what surprised me about my daughter's high school is that they had an entrepreneurial and business program at her school when she was in high school. And I was like, oh my God, well, yes. Like they didn't have this, at the school, at the high school I went to. But then you have, it could just depend on what college you go to, because Yale, like colleges like Yale and Harvard and stuff like that, they were teaching business and entrepreneurship. They've always taught it. But if you went to like a regular like college and university, they weren't teaching you how to be a business owner, entrepreneur, or millionaire. They were teaching you how to basically count beans at a company. So I'm not saying I have a degree, because that means, I guess, what black people was trying to say. What was you trying to say? You was trying to say basically like working for somebody else. You shouldn't work for somebody else if you have a degree. No, that's furthest thing from the truth, because that's the point of getting a degree, so you can go out there and get a decent job. Not everybody, listen, there's chiefs and there's Indians. Some people want to be chiefs. Some people want to be Indians. You know? Black people, I'm not telling you what college I went to. You know what's funny? Every time somebody asks me what college I went to, and then I say, I'm not telling y'all what college I went to, some weirdo comes into the chat trolling, and then tell everybody what college they think I went to. What college do you think I went to? Y'all tell me what college college do y'all think I went to? Y'all think I went to clown college? Y'all think I went to cosmetology school? Y'all think I went to a trade school? I have a friend I was just talking to. Speaking of the guy that made me consider doing this live stream, hit me up on my Facebook. And we've been friends since I was in college, which is funny that we're talking about this. And when I was in college, I was in my early 20s, right? And my daughter was still a baby. And he used to love my daughter. He used to love my daughter. He was like my best friend. He was a guy that I met who lived in like a neighboring like subdivision that was next to the apartment complex that I used to live in. And that's how we met each other. I think I was like walking around or something, and I saw him. And me and him became like best friends. He used to love my daughter. Like when my daughter was a baby, he used to help me like take care of my daughter. And so the reason why I named this live stream what I named it is because I was talking to him, and he is coming to California to visit me. Now, he's a guy that I never ended up getting in a relationship with, but he was always a guy that wanted to be with me. And he used to always do all of these like fancy things for me. Like one time he took me on a boat ride, but it was like a dinner. It was like an old fashioned, that old fashioned boat that has like the not windmill. Well, I'm saying windmill on the back. It's not a windmill. It's like this thing that rotates and it's water in it. You know what I'm talking about? Like them old school country boats where it's like water is like spinning through, like it looks like a windmill on the back. Anyway, if anybody could tell me the name of that kind of boat, I would appreciate that. But anyway, the dinner was on that boat, and it was like beautiful. We was on the water. He took me onto that. When I used to be sick, he used to come and bring me food. He was just always a good guy, but we never ended up getting in a relationship with each other. And anytime he would leave, he would always come back every single time. And I'm starting to notice a pattern with all of the men that I've ever known in my entire life. They're all like circling back. And it's strange because it's like every couple of years, guys that may have tried to holler at me before, they all circle back. And I don't get it. Like, I don't understand why they keep circling back. And then I was like, I get it. Yeah, it's like a fairy. Miss Presley, it's like a fairy. It's not a fairy though. It's a regular, like one of them old school boats. And every time I think about the boat, I hear Louisiana style music for some reason. But I hear um when well, I'm not a troll. I've been on YouTube since 2008. Why would a troll want to know what college you attended? I don't know, because trolls be tripping. Don't ask me. Trolls, I can't figure out the logic of a troll for my life. But yeah, it's like a ferry. But it's like a windmill on the back of the boat and water goes through the back. Why can't I think of this? Yeah, it's like a spinning wheel in the back of the boat. It was like that, and it was like 3 levels. It wasn't a one level boat. It was like more than one level on the boat. And we had dinner on that boat, and it was so beautiful. It was such a beautiful thing. Anyway, he used to do stuff like that for me all the time. And now he's a biomedical engineer. He fixes like the machines that surgeons use during surgery. You know, all the machines and stuff that's usually at the hospital. He fixes all of those. And now he's financially in a decent place. So every time a man in my past gets into a good place financially, he comes straight for me. Every time, like if I'm still single, he coming straight for me. And guys that I knew that weren't financially in a good place when I met them, it's like they wait until they get some bread, and I'm the first woman that they call. It's just like, they're like, so are you in a relationship? Are you married? And then I was like thinking, okay. Are they coming back to me because they feel like I'm the last resort? Are they coming back to me because they feel like I'm the only one that's going to accept them for them? What is their reason? What is their reason for coming back? And that's what made me decide to do this live stream. Why didn't it work out with him if he was really nice and cool? Because it's like we never ended up being in a relationship for whatever reason. It was always something. And I asked him that. I asked him, like, what happened? He was like, well, I just don't think my head was in the right place. And that's usually what they all say. Like, he's not the only guy from my past who's trying to holler at me right now. It's so many. And I mean guys that I never even had any type of like sexual anything with. Never was in a relationship with. They're all like, because we've been friends, like we were friends. And I'm the type of person, when I get out of a relationship with somebody, I'm still their friend. I don't like to beef after we don't kick it no more. I think once we both dealt with our feelings and we're over it, it's time to move on. It's too much energy to still hate you. And that's why it kind of bothers me about where I stand with my son's father. Like, I can't believe I still hate this dude. And I ain't seen him since November 2017. And I still hate him. It's damn November. What is it? November 2020. And I still don't like this dude. That's weird. Because I've never not liked the dude for this long. I've always like been like, that's what's up. Like, you know, whatever happened. You know, that's the type of woman I am. But for some reason, I'm not like that with my son's father at all. Like, not even a little bit. I don't like dude. Like, I don't think I'm ever going to like dude. And it take a lot to get me to be like that, man. Because I'm real cool. So, with most of the guys that I've dated in the past, I think it's just they see me as real chill. That's all. Yeah, so that's what I was saying. When I said earlier in a live stream, when I said, and I'm talking to 521,